Angela Nguyen, and I am a licensed clinical social worker at Yellow Chair Collective, which is a multicultural psychotherapy practice located in Los Angeles, California. In my quick notes today, I will be talking about some general relationship issues, some issues specific to neuroblended relationships and multicultural relationships, and some general tips and strategies for how we can overcome those issues. So, neuroblended relationships are relationships in which one or both parties are neurodivergent. So, a person being neurodivergent means that their brain thinks, processes, and understands and interacts with the world a little bit differently. So, commonly, someone who has ADHD or someone who's autistic. And then multicultural relationships are ones in which both parties are from different cultural backgrounds. So, some common relationship issues can include differences in communication style, differences in the ways that we understand verbal and nonverbal language, differences in like personal preferences or needs, and even in the ways that we expect a healthy relationship to look like or to be. Commonly for neuroblended relationships, there can be differences in soft skills, which are the skills that we use to collaborate or the skills that we use to regulate our emotions. Um, there can also be differences in executive functioning skills. So these are the skills that we use to plan and prioritize, organize, manage our time. And lastly, sensory needs. So neurodivergent people often experience sensory needs a little bit differently. So they may be more overstimulated or more understimulated. So that can be important to think about. Then with multicultural relationships, I think there can be a lot of complication when it comes to having your own cultural identity and maybe being able or even unable to share that with your loved one. And also, perhaps there are differences in the ways that you prioritize certain values or the ways that you practice certain beliefs or traditions, and differences also in the ways that you expect parent and child relationships to be, or gender roles to be, or even conflicts with extended family members. So, a lot of complication here. As far as communication tips, I would definitely recommend in general to practice things like active listening, so being able to summarize and clarify what it is that each person is saying before responding yourself, being able to use tools like a feelings wheel or a feelings temperature scale to really have an example of what exactly you're feeling is and to communicate that with your partner and to be really straightforward and really direct as much as possible. Lots of I statements, being really clear about the different topics and things like that. Other tips would be to get really explicit about communication, right? So outside of any conflict or outside of any disagreement, to talk about your communication style. What are some things that work for you or don't work for you? And just to, yeah, be really open about what you expect, what you're wanting, what you're needing, where are some areas that the two of you are different. And can you be curious about the ways that, our personal backgrounds impact the ways that we interact? And, if we are different, can we engage with those differences with respect and curiosity? And of course, to celebrate the good too. Um, Last but not least, when it comes to neuroblended relationships, I would really want to emphasize the importance of recognizing that neurodivergence is a spectrum, and so neurodiversity, or the idea that different brains have inherent value and worthiness. So when it comes to neurodivergent people, we don't need to fix them, or we don't need to change them, right? We can appreciate them as they are. And when it comes to multicultural relationships, I think it's really important for us to practice cultural affirmation or cultural humility. So being able to practice respect, celebration, and curiosity of other cultures and be really willing to learn about them. But yeah, thanks so much. And again, my name is Angela, and to have a presentation for you all again sometime. Thanks.